Hey everyone, it's Christy, and this is my second time out to Ekar Farms, and it's changed so much in the 3 weeks that I've been here. It looks amazing. Good job. And so tell everybody how much you got to donate so far.
Yeah, so far, standing here on July 20th, we've reached a benchmark of donating 2,000 pounds of organic vegetables to help feed about 4,000 folks.
That's beautiful.
It is.
That's beautiful. So thanks for having me out here again. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous out here, and we got to check out his bees, so you'll see some of that too. So tell everybody what you guys are about and what nonprofits you work for.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so Ekar is an urban organic communal farm now in our 5th season, and our general model, as you can see, is to have volunteers out. Usually we have about 1,500 volunteers a season, and we grow food for food shelters. So every year, with the help of a lot of volunteers, we set a goal of giving away 7,000 pounds of vegetables, and we partner with Jewish Family Service, Weinberg Food Pantry. We partner with Same Cafe on Kofax, a pay what you can, if you can lunch spot.
That's awesome.
And we give to an elderly home in Cherry
So
Creek.
Berry Patch Farms does not accept volunteers. I need to start asking because Tim was like, no volunteers. Yeah, we need volunteers here at Ekar. So bring the kids out and definitely come out and enjoy the day and teach the kids how to grow some food. It's great. So
yeah, every Sunday morning we have drop-in casual, what we call Days in the Dirt. People stop by at our location at 181 South Oneida. They bring their kids. They come out as individuals. They spend a half an hour. They spend 2 hours. Whatever it is, they have a great time, and we really appreciate the help, and it's for a good cause.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to share? Do you have any upcoming events?
We have a Tour de Farm bike ride on August 17th. So we start here, and over the course of a 16-mile round trip bike ride on the Highline Canal bike path, we stop at 3 urban farms and get a tour at each. So that's a lot of fun. We're expecting about 150 riders.
Do you have kids?
We have, it's a very family-oriented activity. We have a little farmer's turnaround for the youngest of riders, less than halfway, and they still get to see 2 farms on that trip.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, but we believe very strongly in community education and believe that a better, improved food system starts with information. So we're really proud to be supporters of the Labeling Our Food campaign.
Thank you for supporting us.
How are things with the campaign? Hi, I'm here with one of Ekar's community gardeners, Dan Hankin, and we thought we would get his thoughts on what it means to be a gardener, why it is he gardens, what having the garden plots here at Ekar means, and just his general thoughts and ideas about our own food supply. So Dan, how long have you been here with Ekar?
This is my 3rd year.
Mm-hmm.
I started out as a hobby. Now I kind of rely on it as a food source for probably half of the year now. Last year we started measuring. We did 500 pounds, and we want to do half a ton this year.
Nice. And what has it meant to you and your wife to have a garden plot here at Ekar?
Delicious food. A good hobby, to be honest. We all have stressful jobs. This is, I mean, not only is it a productive hobby, but it's really, really relaxing. Half hour spent out here first thing in the morning is a beautiful thing to do.
And I know your plot has a special place in your family's life. If you could, please share that with us.
When this was actually Talia's plot first, my wife. When we first started dating, she didn't really know what she was doing, and that's kind of how I ended up gardening at Ekar. I was helping her out with her plot, and at the end of the season, I proposed, so this is where we got engaged, so it's kind of special to us.
To us as well.
Yeah.
And what are your general thoughts on consumer education with regard to their food supply?
You know, in my own experience, doing is learning.
Hi, my name's Becca Weaver. And I am a Boulder resident, and I work on this great farm in Denver called Ekar Farm. It's an all-volunteer run farm, and we donate most of our produce to people who can't afford to eat delicious, healthy, local, organic produce. And before I got here, I got my master's degree in agricultural policy from Tufts University, and I have a certificate in ecological horticulture from UC Santa Cruz. So I've sort of been around the block with different agricultural systems in the Northeast, also in California, and now in Colorado. And I just really want to thank the Right to Know campaign for doing their work to get GMO crops labeled, because I think it's people's right to know what they're eating and where it's coming from. And there are so many options in Colorado and in every state for finding your local farmer and for understanding where your food comes from, whether that's shopping at a farmer's market, becoming part of a CSA, coming to a volunteer-run farm like this one. And I just want to encourage everyone to support your local food system. It helps support the local economy. It keeps your dollars in your community.
Hello, my name's Aaron, and we're out here at Ekar Farm highlighting our honeybee area, and we're very proud to be the hosts of 3 hives, which are crucial components to our organic farm. The pollinators really help our plants grow and provide a diversity of DNA for our vegetables. We use them as an educational tool, both for the many school groups that come to visit, as well as our neighbors, and trying to educate folks on the importance of bees in our food system and the ways in which their home maintenance choices really affect our bees. So we do a lot of outreach, asking and advising folks to be more mindful of their lawn maintenance procedures and to try to use non-pesticides for their lawn care.
Hello, my name is David Wright. I just graduated from Colorado College, and I'm going to CU Boulder in the fall. And so over the summer, I'm helping out at Ekar Farms, pretty much doing whatever Jay tells me to, giving Aaron a hand as well. I worked here, so I started eating solely plant-based foods after my freshman year in college, and I got really into organic foods and knowing what I was eating and being conscious of it. And I really wanted to get onto a farm. This is a great spot to come out and help and just give these guys a few of my hours that I can, because I do think that organic food is so important and knowing what we're eating, so we're actually conscious of what we're doing and then conscious of other things in our life, instead of just passing through and not thinking about anything. So I'm definitely all for organic labeling and the right to know.
So hey everyone, we're right out here, and I wanted to talk with Jay. He's the operation manager here?
Director of Operations.
Director of Operations. And so we've got this compost thing that they've made up here. So will you be able to use this today or this year for fertilizing?
We won't be able to use this year, but we should be able to use it in about 2 years with a scheduled operation here where we'd flip it, add water to it, add things like garden lime and things like that to break down all the harder materials. But yeah, basically what we have are a 3-bin system, with the bin on our left being our primary one, where that's what this year's materials are going into, and then nothing new is going into that one, so that one is sitting there trying to break down and eventually become good compost. But you still need to add things, definitely need to water it throughout the season and break it down and mix it up. Yeah
Awesome. So what else? So what are you responsible for here? Everything?
Everything. So yeah, I make sure everything is growing. I'm organizing volunteers and volunteer groups. I'm making sure that when we do have large groups out, that there's something for them to do, and that they're all age appropriate. When there's not groups out here, I'm out here doing the weeding, doing the harvesting, doing the tilling, the planting, everything that you see or that you have seen.
I'm proud of you. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, we do obviously get a lot of help from volunteers, but for the most part, I'm basically managing the entire property and making sure we have produce to grow and the little that we sell to sell. So.
Yeah, I heard you guys had the biggest year, 2,000 pounds so far?
Yeah, 2,000 pounds already this year, which we hadn't hit 2,000 pounds last year until right around the end of July. So we're about 2.5 weeks ahead. So this year we should basically shatter old records for what we're going to be growing out of here. So.
That's awesome. So I heard you say age appropriate. What's age appropriate? Because I see all ages over there having fun.
Yeah, so it can be challenging, especially on Sundays with drop-in volunteers, because we have age 1 to 80, and so it can be very, very challenging. But for the most part, when we do have larger groups, they're usually within an age range, and it's usually class related, so 5th graders, 6th graders, and so when they come out, I just make sure that a project that we're going to be doing that day is age appropriate for that group. You're not going to really have 6-year-olds weeding very difficult things like carrots, because it's going to be hard to tell the difference between the weeds and the plant. Older people, older kids, high schoolers and junior high, like those jobs are kind of reserved for them. So just making sure whatever jobs are being done, kids can get, and they can get a grasp of, and they can get something out of it.
I know. I was really proud of that mom over there. She was letting her daughter use the clippers for the garlic. Woo! This one likes me. Is there anything else you want to share with everyone?
Well, other than the fact that we're always accepting volunteers, whether they're organized or not, whether they're the drop-in volunteers that we have on Sundays. Either way, we want people to come out and experience what we do here, experience urban farming, and experience what it feels like to basically grow a lot of food and give it away. So any Sunday, 9 to 1, we're here. We'd love anyone to come by. Kids are welcome, obviously. And then if you want to organize a larger group, whether it's from a synagogue, a church, anything, your friends at work, anything that you want, we want people out here. And so if you want to organize something like that, contact us and we'll get something going. We had 3 different Whole Foods community service groups out this year. We had a women's prison last year. We've had multiple synagogues, multiple churches, a ton of different camps. And so anyone that wants to come out, we encourage it.
What do you expect you're going to harvest this year total?
Total, donated and sold, I'm thinking somewhere around 16,000 pounds is my guess.
And guys, this isn't a really huge lot. I mean, I guess compared to, I went out to Full Circle, he had 300 acres of organic, and God, that's a lot of food that we can create in just small little spaces like this. We need more of them.
And another thing to consider is poundage. Poundage is kind of a silly term to figure out how much food you're growing, because if you think about it, it really should be calories and not poundage, because if you think about it, kale it doesn't weigh anything. I mean, you could be picking kale for weeks and weeks, and you might only get 20 pounds of kale, but the calories that you're getting out of all that kale could be very similar to the amount of calories you're getting out of a 2-pound squash. So it's just something to consider. And this year we've actually developed our own spreadsheet that we've actually been able to calculate the calories that are coming out of the field as well, and so we can put in how many pounds of an individual fruit or vegetable that we're growing, and then it tells us micronutrients and macronutrients down to vitamin B, to vitamin C, all those different things.
That is so educational and informative, Do you expect, or do you have any lots available for people to come and rent, or,
I'm not sure if we do. That's the actual community garden plots are managed by a community garden member, and so I'm just not sure, but if anyone was interested, they could get into contact with them and ask.
Okay, and it's www.ekar...
.ekarfarm.org.
Farm. Okay, so EKAR farm.com? .org, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
And thanks for supporting our campaign.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about the right to know what's in our food?
Well, it's very important. I mean, I went to school in Vermont. Vermont was the first place to pass it, and we had talked about it for years and years. In the agricultural circle that I was in, and it's great to see that state pass it, and it's great to see other states passing it. So it's really important. And I mean, how is it a bad thing? I mean, no one's telling you can't buy GMOs anymore. That it's just saying, hey, now whether or not it's a GMO, and then you can make that decision on whether or not you want to purchase it. So there's no reason to not have that information. Why would you want to withhold information from somebody?
Yeah.